In this video we'll work on the sentences in the noun phrases section, and we don't need to import anything from the Word document here for the noun phrases. This is a very simple sentence. It's saying just John walked. But I'd like to mention, you see that the verb walk is highlighted in purple, and also up here you see generate -1. The -1 means that there's one issue in this sentence that the TBTA knows we still need to deal with. And in this case, it's the theta grid adjustment rule for walk, and that's why it's highlighted in purple. The issues that TBTA is aware of up here include things like uninitialized theta grid adjustment rules for verbs and adjectives, and unlinked concepts, and unspecified generic genitival noun-noun relationships. For example, if we go to, let's go to another verse, Genesis 1:1. Okay, up here you see -5. So there are 5 issues that TBTA is aware of. God is unlinked, that's 1. Create is unlinked, that's 2. Sky is unlinked, that's 3. Earth is unlinked, that's 4. And the 5th one is the theta grid adjustment rule for create. We haven't set its status to on, and we haven't tagged it as unnecessary. As soon as you do either one of those, then TBTA knows we've dealt with it. But until then, that will be a known issue. So we're back to noun phrases 1:1. Let's deal with this theta grid adjustment rule. Okay, so walk can take a source noun phrase, a destination noun phrase, and an instrument noun phrase. So it's something like John walked from the mountain to the river with a cane or with a staff. If we see here, Exodus 21:19. The man walked with a stick or with a staff. So for this we can use the simple output option. These usually theta grid adjustment rules have 2 tasks. Specify the grammatical relation of each noun phrase down here, and also specify the prepositions that go inside those noun phrases. Now, sometimes you have much more sophisticated changes to make, but this one for English is going to be very simple. So we can say simple output. So the source will be _1, and it will have the preposition from. Okay, we don't have from yet. And the destination will be _2, and it will take the preposition to. And the instrument will be _3, and it will take the instrument, the preposition with. The phrase structure rule for clauses will order these obliques in this order, _1, _2, _3. So that's all we need to do. We've specified the grammatical relation, and we've specified the preposition that goes in each noun phrase, and generally that's all we need to do for most theta grid adjustment rules. Let's set the status to on, and if we generate this, John walked. Generated text is identical. So let's save it. Let's go and generate these sentences. Now we'll generate noun phrases 1:1, 2 noun phrases 1:26. Let's set it up to save the new text. We don't want to compare. And I'll time-lapse this. Okay, it's done. Let's go see how it did. Okay, pretty good. John cut this fish with a knife. So that's probably another theta grid adjustment rule. John spoke about Mary. So these 2 are theta grid adjustment rules. Let's go work on this one. Okay, again, we see generate -1, so there's one issue that TBTA is aware of, and that's the theta grid adjustment rule for cut. Okay, so there are several noun phrases down here. To see what they're each used for. Okay, that first one, Daniel 2:34. God cut a stone from the mountain. So the source destination, so the source noun phrase in English gets the preposition from, and then the instrument in clauses 131. John cut the fish with a sword. So the instrument gets the preposition with in English. And then Genesis 15:10. Abraham cut the animals into pieces. So the destination noun phrase in English gets the preposition into. So into pieces. Okay? And again, let's use the simple output. Let's make this oblique 1. This will be from. Destination will be oblique 2, into pieces. Into. Instrument is with, that'll be oblique 3, with. Okay. Now the noun phrase, the phrase structure rule for clauses will order these obliques in this order: oblique 1, oblique 2, oblique 3. Okay. Let's tag this rule as on. Insert a comment. So now there are no known issues. It just says generate. John cut this fish with a knife. Generated text is identical. Let's save it. John spoke. Okay, this is saying John spoke about Mary. Okay, speak takes many noun phrases. That's this data grid adjustment rule. So there's a patient, a source, a destination, an instrument, and a beneficiary. So speak. So Daniel 6:12, the official spoke to the king about the law. So in English, the patient noun phrase needs the preposition about, and the destination noun phrase needs to. John spoke to the king. So we'll want to make the destination noun phrase oblique 1, and then the patient will be oblique 2. Daniel 2:4, the astrologer spoke to the king with the Aramaic language, or in the Aramaic language. So the instrument here is a language. Luke 9:35, God spoke from the cloud. So the source takes the preposition from. Then the beneficiary, in that last sentence, Genesis 50 verse 4, the officer spoke to the king for Joseph. Okay, so let's use a simple output. Okay, we want to make the destination, John spoke to the king, we want this one to be oblique 1. That should come first, with the preposition to. And this one will be, the patient will be oblique 2, with the preposition about. This example was something like God spoke from a cloud. We'll call this, okay, God spoke about John the Baptist from the cloud. God spoke from the cloud about John the Baptist. We'll make this oblique 3. You can always come back and change these later. This will take the preposition from. Instrument will be in a language like in Aramaic. We'll call this oblique 4. Preposition is in. Okay, the beneficiary, we only go up through oblique 4, so we'll have 2 of them. That's fine. And this will be take the preposition for. Okay, it's very unlikely we would have all of these in the same sentence. Okay, let's tag this rule as on. Enter a comment. John spoke about Mary. Generated text is identical. Let's save it. Okay, this one was proper. Let's go back. Okay, John told Mary about that book. John asked Mary about that book. So these are more theta grid adjustment issues. Okay, so we have these 6 sentences. Okay, John told Mary about that book. Let's go work on this one. Okay, John told, destination, so the patient takes about. Okay, John told Mary about that book. Okay, what's the instrument? Oh, Jesus told the people about God's kingdom with parables. Okay. Here, John told Mary. So this time we want the destination to actually be the direct object. So the destination should be the direct object. John told Mary about that book. So the destination doesn't get a preposition here. This will be an oblique 1. with the preposition about. And instrument with parables. Let's call this oblique 2. With parables. Okay. Insert a comment. Activate the rule. John told Mary about that book. Generated text is identical. Let's save it. John asked Mary about that book. So here again we want the destination noun phrase to be the object, and we want what we've tagged in the analysis as the patient, we want that to have the preposition about. Okay, and they're not highlighted in purple, meaning they're always there. They're obligatory. So far, in every sentence in the Bible that we've analyzed that uses ask since D, both the patient and the destination have been there. We can use simple output. So the destination, we want to be the direct object without a preposition. And this will be an oblique 1 with a preposition about. Okay. John asked Mary about that book. John knows about that problem. So here again, the patient noun phrase in English needs the preposition about. John knows about that problem. John moved from that house to this house. And we see there's a source noun phrase and a destination noun phrase. Okay, both phrases are optional. Let's use the simple output. So source, we'll say is oblique 1 with a preposition from. And this is an oblique 2 with the preposition to. John moved from that house to this house. That book belongs to John. So in English, the destination noun phrase gets the preposition to. So it's oblique 1. That book belongs to John. John agreed with Mary. So in English we want the patient noun phrase to be marked with the preposition with. We'll say it's an oblique 1. John agreed with Mary. Mary named this baby John. Okay, whenever we use this verb name to give someone a name, there's always a patient, and then there's always a state. The semantic role of the noun phrase containing the name is always a state. In English, this is probably another direct object. This one's a direct object. This one, if we generate this now, Mary named this baby John. Okay, it turns out fine. Grammatical relation equals oblique. We could name this another direct object, a second direct object. If we wanted to do that, we would go to the feature set, choose noun phrases, come to grammatical relations. We could define another grammatical relation called object, second object, or something like that. Let's just leave this alone. It comes out proper. Until we have one of these sentences and it doesn't come out properly, let's just leave that alone, okay? I think that's all we needed to work on. Yes. Okay. So, these are done. We'll end the video here, but I would highly recommend that you come back, and now you should regenerate everything and compare. So we'll compare from nouns 1.1 to noun phrases 126. I won't do this in the video, but I'll do it, and if any issues show up, then that will be at the beginning of the next video.